What's going on, guys? It's Eric again, back with another video. I want to talk a little bit of high school sports today, and I'm probably going to bring in professional sports and actually college sports along with this. But the MHSAA, which stands for Michigan High School Athletic Association, and I have one of their websites up here. One of the articles that says the MHSAA Rep Council approves the phased-in fall sports schedule for this year. Now, we all know how COVID-19 is affecting people, affecting businesses, how it's kind of affected professional sports. Now we're starting to get into some collegiate and now Michigan sports here as a whole. And I want to kind of know, is it a good idea or not? That's what I'm probably going to use for the title on here. Is it a good idea or not? And you guys already probably know where I'm going with this. I don't think it's a very good idea, but I kind of want to talk about what's kind of going on down here. Now, I'm only going to focus on the second and the third paragraphs here on this article. And I'll go ahead and put this article down in the description area along with Erod here, which is Eduardo Rodriguez. He's a current pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, and how it's affected him. And I'm going to talk about that here a little bit, along with how it can kind of transfer over into the other sports leagues and organizations as well. And coming back to the article here, it says the council affirmed that the lower risk sports, which are girls golf, boys tennis, cross country, girls swimming, and diving. Now, you see it says lower and upper peninsula there. They're going to go ahead and begin practice on August 12th, and they're going to begin their traditional competition start dates of August 19th and the 21st. Now, those are social distancing sports here, where golf and tennis and swimming and diving and cross country are pretty much social distance sports here. There's not a lot of contact, if there's hardly any contact with another player. The only thing where I could think it may be you could get contact is probably cross country, but I think that's extremely low, especially at the high school sports level. I don't know. I never ran cross country, so I don't know if it's a banging sport or not, where you run into people all the time. Maybe if you're tired and you're kind of wobbling around, you could. But anyway, kind of moving on here. And then it says, however, the moderate and high-risk sports, which are football, girls volleyball, and boys soccer, are going to begin practice, but they're not going to compete yet, which may begin practice but not competition. The decisions about competition timelines for these sports will be made by August 20th. And that's only, today's the 29th. This video is up here. So they've got about a little less than a month to try and figure this stuff out here. I think they're probably going to take a look, see how the NCAA is kind of going to go about this, how the NFL is going to go about this for football especially, and they may actually put that over into girls volleyball and the boys soccer, which those are, where it says the moderate to high-risk sports there. I think they're talking about the interaction with another player, whether it's competing, all that. And you could probably put into the winter sports here. You're probably going to see something about the winter sports here, about basketball, girls and boys basketball, wrestling, high school wrestling. You're probably going to see something about that as it kind of goes on here. And I want to kind of come down here for on this fourth paragraph here. It says the practice for the boys and girls soccer volleyball may begin on August 12th. Football will delay the start of practice with full player pads and equipment until August 17th. The week of August 10th may include practice sessions consisting of the conditioning, the physical training, and skill work with no other player equipment except helmets. So that's kind of pretty big here. They're trying to keep the social distancing aspect of it here and kind of going down this way. And kind of how to roll all this in with college and sports kind of coming into play here is how Eduardo Rodriguez, which some of you guys know him as Erod, I'll bring him up here. He awaits his heart test results because he had a stint of, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, myocarditis. I'm no medical professional here, but anyway, what that term is, and I know I pronounced it wrong. It's a medical condition where it's an inflammation of heart muscles, which can affect your blood flow to your other extremities. It can affect your heart rate. It can actually increase stroke and heart attack based on this. So they've kept him low, very, very low impact, no baseball or anything like that until he's cleared, which I don't know when that's going to be. I didn't read the whole entire article here. I just kind of looked up what this term is and kind of going with that. He feels fine. He doesn't really have much side effects on it. although he hasn't really been out to try to test to see if he has any side effects of it. One of the kind of the bigger side effects is your loss of stamina. I don't know if it's if you're from your lung capacity of getting oxygen to your blood or kind of whatever that is, but stamina is kind of a big factor in COVID-19 testing here. But how is this also going to affect your college sports and your MHSAA sports? Now, right now they're saying they're good to go, but you got to remember that kids, they're still amateurs. Your college and your high school players are still amateur players. A lot of them, especially in high school sports, are just playing because they want to play. They don't not playing because they have a talent or anything like that. So parents are actually going to have to really kind of come to terms with, well, should my boy or my son or my daughter actually go and play sports, which I know it's a high contact sport, or even going to school at all. Like a lot of these schools, yeah, some of them have made online classrooms a part of going to be their curriculum, or others are kind of still in the wait and see approach. We just don't know how all this is kind of going to come together. I think that the MHSAA, they had to come out with something for the fall sports. I think they're still kind of right now really trying to assess the situation until you're getting ready for your winter sports. And they're kind of probably going to assess it then, like your basketball, girls, boys basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, that sort of thing. I don't know how those are going to get affected. I got to imagine it's probably going to be more the same for for the football and your volleyball and your boys soccer kind of coming along, and girls soccer as well. You probably could loop girls soccer in there as well. But these players aren't getting paid. Your college and your high school sports are not getting paid. Your professional sports people have a decision to make. I either go and get paid, or I don't go and possibly perhaps not really even getting paid. If I'm not going to show up to work, I'm not going to get paid. So they have some kind of incentive and some kind of not really demand, but some kind of goodness, I really don't know what the right term is here, but they have an incentive to kind of go to work and try to make some money. Not an incentive is the wrong word to use. While your high school and college sports kids, they're kind of depending on, hey, what's the protocol going to be? MHSAA and NCAA, are we going to play? Are we not going to play? You know, kind of what's going on here. So I think, and if they are going to play, like the Big Ten has said they're going to do, they're going to do their own football conference only schedules. Maybe that might not be a good thing. What happens if a player, especially in football is the biggest one, it's going to be of big importance here. What happens if a football player ends up getting COVID-19? They get tested for it right now, they're negative, but later 2 or 3 days, or 1 or 2 or 3 days down the road, they get tested positive for this, and then it starts running rampant throughout the Big Ten here, or whatever kind of conference collegiately or within the MHSAA sports that starts running rampant. And then are you going to pull it back? Are you going to wait for, oh, hey, we really haven't had a lot of deaths or anything like that, so we're going to still go as approved. Well, what happens if it goes and goes and goes, and then teams don't really have anyone to play? How are you going to do that? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of really got to come together here, and the MHSAA, the NCAA, and to some extent the NFL are really going to have to try and figure this stuff out with your high contact sports, because you're constantly running into people, you're transferring saliva, you're transferring blood, all that sort of stuff, especially in football. That's your big concern. With your what my opinion is here on your moderate and high risk sports, I would just say cancel them, because there's really no need for it to kind of run rampant through here. And especially with the golf and the cross country, the tennis and all that sort of stuff. You know, even though they're kind of socially distant sports and they have a low risk of it, who's to say someone couldn't pick it up and they go back and interact with their friends at the high school level and it spreads right there? Then what are you going to do? I really didn't see in this article really anything about how this is all going to come about here. And I kind of want to take one final note here real quick. And I want to find it here real quick where it was something real, where Mark Ewell, he was the executive director of the MHSAA. Here it's right here. It says, the easy way out would be to postpone all activity to next spring, and we are not taking the easy way out. But we will make wise decisions based on medical guidance. We will make these difficult decisions quickly and appropriately. If we don't play this fall, it won't be because we didn't make every effort to do so. Now, based on what he said there, I think he's kind of making a wrong assessment here. I think the spring sports, um, sports in general, should really probably be canceled here. Now, I know a lot of people don't like me to hear me say that, but really to try to compound this thing, and you guys know what I feel about the COVID-19 and coronavirus stuff, so it really shouldn't be any real big surprise to you guys. Um, what happens if it starts running rampant throughout the sports leagues? Now, right now, it's pretty low, yes. Okay, I understand that because people probably haven't, they've been kept in bubbles and all that sort of stuff. But when you start getting into football and travel sports, and you're not keeping people into a bubble, and you're having them travel back and forth, interacting with their friends and all that sort of stuff, then what are you going to do? Um, that's kind of how I feel on it, guys. Until they come up with a virus or some kind of vaccine or whatever it is to combat this thing, I just don't think it's a very good idea, especially for high school sports. And I'm not just saying Michigan high school sports, high school sports in general, and to some degree collegiate sports. You're probably better off canceling the season. But guys, let me know what you guys think. You probably will, and you'll have a pretty good opinion on it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it something that really we shouldn't really be concerned about? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification so you guys get more videos just like this one. Gonna go watch a little bit of Tigers baseball. I may come back here at the end and give my assessment here. I'm sure I'm already probably in the second or third inning by now, but we're gonna go ahead and see how it goes. All right, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys again soon. Deuces. Take care, guys.